Good morning, guys. It is quite early. Clock just hit 4 a.m., but I'm pretty excited. I'm waiting for Tony and Eric to come pick me up. We're heading out to Avon Park. We're gonna do a nice little hilly group ride up there. I don't know how fast paced it is. I've never done it before, but I'm pretty excited. If you live in Florida, man, anything hilly or rolling hills is pretty exciting because we don't got that down here. So I mean, we're driving 2 hours just to go do this group ride. So imagine that. On a normal basis, I would much rather just go out and do my 2 hours and come back home and be done with training, you know. But just something different. We're heading up to Six Gap in a few weeks, so we're gonna use it as training. Although this is not even close to Six Gap. Six Gap is gonna be 100 miles and about, I think it's like 11,000 feet of climbing, which is ridiculous. But I'm super excited for that. So stay tuned. There's gonna be a video on the channel. But yeah, so right now I'm just I just made some coffee. I'm getting my water bottles ready. I got 80 grams of carb, and I get this Element packet unflavored, and then I split it half and half, so I get 500 milligrams of sodium and some potassium and magnesium on each bottle. I just smashed a bowl of overnight oats, so with some honey, of course, get some extra carbs. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm gonna wait for them to show up. We'll head that way and we'll catch you guys on the road. Alright guys, so I'm going to try and do a little bit of a voiceover over this footage here so you guys can have a better understanding of what's actually happening. So the way I was explained was, once we got to the midpoint of the ride, which is where we're at right now, there's this circuit that they normally do 3 laps on, and then once we're done, whoever rider finishes first, then we wait for the rest of the group at the top of this little kicker that has there's like a radio antenna. That's what I was explained, right? So what you're watching here is the last I believe it's half, maybe 3/4 of the last lap. So before this we had already done 2 laps, and at this point it's just me and this rider, super strong guy right here in front of me. We're going up this like little 5% kicker, and I know what you're thinking, 5% for you guys that live on the hills and stuff. Yeah, that's nothing, but for us down here in Florida, man, this is pretty fun. I'm definitely coming back here again to ride a little bit more. But as you can see, I mean, my heart rate is already 170 beats per minute. I'm on his wheel right now. You saw him stretching his back in the beginning of the video. I mean, he knows what's about to happen. So right here we're about to go up the I think this is like the steepest little kicker. It goes up to like 7% or so, and I'm just sitting on his wheel, just cruising, doing like a little bit over 200 watts. And then right here I didn't go all out, but you can see I go right here I go pretty hard. I hit over 1,000 watts for a second and sustained 900 for a bit. So I mean, it wasn't all out. I just wanted to test them. I just wanted to see where the legs were. I wanted to test myself. So I actually did manage to get a gap. I think that that kicker there goes up to like 7% or so. So I knew I could get a gap, but the gap just wasn't big enough. So you can see here I'm still pressing on. And this is a pretty long flat before we make a right-hander, and then the ride actually ends at the top. But even after making the right-hander, you can see we're passing some of the other riders here. Even after we make the right-hander, it is still pretty far before we actually get to the top. And you can see my heart rate is 180 beats per minute. At this point, you see me, I'm only doing like 100 watts, but he's on my wheel already, and I know where you can see it was a pretty long flat, and we're about to make this right turn here. And yeah, I was expecting his attack to come right away. So as soon as I make this right here, you'll see me move over all the way to the right, just because I want to only keep an eye on the left. But he barely even gave me a chance, and I just freaking had to snap like over 1,000 watts. But at this point, I know the radio tower is still pretty far, and he's just going full gas. You can see I'm doing 700 plus watts, and this is sitting. He's still standing. You can see he's starting to slow down. He's looking back, and he sees me just coming to his wheel, and something really weird happens. And you can see I was barely doing 100 watts. And I was like, whoa, what happened? I see I'm under 100 watts there. I'm like, well, I guess I lost the ride. But then I just remembered, no, they told me the right ends where the radio tower is, and we're still pretty far from that. So I think what happened there is he actually just went all in, and he saw that I was coming back to his wheel, just doing seated power. And yeah, I think it discouraged him. But yeah, that was pretty fun. Oh man, what a beautiful ride. Just finished. About to go to the restroom real quick to get the bikes loaded up and head back. It was an amazing ride. Did like 66 miles. Let me see if this bathroom is even open. Did about like 66 miles. Oh man, it's still locked. I don't know how much elevation or anything yet. Haven't looked at it, but yeah, it's beautiful up here. First time doing this, definitely coming back. Let me show you guys this. Look at this beautiful lake right here. I'm starving, man. Starving. Oh yeah, look at this. Freaking beautiful. Oh, I didn't even know you could get in there. Wish I had some more clothes. I would have gotten in. Well, yeah, we're couldn't use the restroom there, so probably use it when we stop to get something to eat. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna get everything loaded up. We're waiting for Tony. He hasn't made it back yet. It was a very nice space, especially on the hills. Very good practice for 6 Gap. Alrighty, boys, just got home. The bike right here. It was a pretty far drive, about 2 hours, but I'm ready to get some recovery in. The ride was freaking amazing. We did about 66 miles and like 2,300 feet of climbing, which was pretty nice training. Right now I'm just gonna shower, get some recovery in, and then we're gonna wake up early again tomorrow, which sucks. I hate waking up early, but we're gonna wake up early tomorrow, and we're actually going racing tomorrow. The ride today was pretty nice. I probably went a little bit harder than I should have, but I mean, it is what it is. Good training for 6 Gap. Yeah, I'm gonna go in, take a shower, get some recovery in, and get ready for tomorrow. Peace. Good morning. Back on the road. Not gonna lie, I'm a little bit tired. I got a pretty good night of sleep last night. I got like 8.5 hours of sleep, so that's not bad. But just for the fact that I woke up at 3:30 the night before to go do that Healy group ride, still pretty tired, but feeling good. We are racing today, which I'm pretty excited about. We're gonna do the same course down at Hueco, which means the hole in English, and it's down in Miami. Really fast course. I did that about 2 weeks ago with Eric, which we're on the way to his house right now. We're gonna put my bike on his truck, and then we'll head out there. here there's I think 40 plus is racing now at the bike back here. Eric had his from yesterday still inside the truck. But yeah, we're gonna go get the number, get that out of the way, and get things ready, water bottles ready, everything ready. I don't know if the legs are ready, but we'll see. Alrighty, boys. Pinned up. Got a nice little cooling device, aka water bottle. I'm in this little gel right now, and yeah, I'm gonna go start warming up. All kitted up, ready to go. So I want to swap the battery on the camera, and put it on the bike. That way it's got battery when I actually go do the race. Memory stick has enough space. I just need to swap the batteries, and I think after I'm done warming up, I'm gonna try to go straight to the line, not stopping back at the truck. So yeah, I'll see you guys after the race. Peace. And just like that, we are off. This is the Cat 45 race. Spoiler alert, I ended up doing the P123 race right after this, and man, that was so much fun. A lot of pro riders on that. But yeah, you can see right here, there's already guys trying to go off the front, and we're like 2 seconds into the race. So I wasn't interested, to say the least. Not at this moment, at least. But looking back at it, man, it might be something I try in the future. You never know. If you want a hard race, you want to just go all out, and who cares? This is what these practice races are for. So it might be something I try in the future. But I want to talk to you guys about clip-ins. I am horrible at clipping in. I could be starting at there's another attack going here on the left. I could be at the front of the race just like I was on this one, and I'm so bad at clipping in, I'll lose like 10-15 wheels before I even got to the first corner. So I was always told that the foot that you put down when you come to a stop at a stoplight, that is the foot that you want to have unclipped. Once you start moving, then that's the one that you clip in. But at this race, I wanted to try it the other way, and it initially felt very weird, but I clipped in immediately, and then I did that on the P123 as well, and I clipped in immediately. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing from now on. So if you guys struggle with that, then yeah, man, there's something you should give a shot. Just try out the other foot. Although it's going to feel weird at first, it actually worked pretty good for me. So here, this rider attacks on the left. I started chasing him, and this is the weirdest breakaway attempt that I ever been in. So I come around him. I do a very long pull here, and I elbow him through. He never comes through, so I was like, oh, I guess we're just shutting it down then. And next thing I know, he just comes flying past me and swerves to the left. Like, come on, man, you're supposed to kind of give me a draft. We're supposed to be a team here, you know. And then, well, I put in a dig. I come closer, and then he just takes this super weird white line, like all the way right. Like I just didn't get that. And then this other rider who was just sitting in the draft the whole time just comes by flying. I was like, yeah, man, I honestly don't know what's going on here. So I just shut it down, came back to the field, and of course it ended up going into a field sprint. Actually, before that, so this rider comes by, I get on his wheel to get a little bit of speed, and then I just sent it here on the right. And this was coming into, I believe, 2 laps to go, which I believe I just wanted to kind of make it hard, do a little effort here at the end. But yeah, this guy was off the front. I ended up passing him, and they knew me. They have me marked from that race I won about a month ago, and they're just on my wheel right now. They're not gonna just let me go, so I just swerve, then go all the way right, and they come by. This guy that you'll see right here on the left with the blue and pink kit from City Bikes, he's the leader of the race, so they're just pretty much doing a lead out for him. It's another rider that attacks there. But this is last corner, 1 lap to go. I actually wasn't that far for the sprint. I was just kind of cooked, or you know, yeah, I feel like I was just kind of cooked. You can see that guy in the front, so I wasn't that far back, but I just wanted to do the P123 race, and yeah, I just saved a little bit of energy for that. I'm not sure where I came in, maybe like 15 to 20th. But yeah, it was a very fun race. It's all practice, man. That's what we're out here for. But yeah, let's jump into the P123 now. Alright, so this is P123 race. This is a 70-minute race, so an hour and 10 minutes. And there was 68 riders that started this race, guys. I believe maybe 25 or 30 finish. I'm not even sure on that. But yeah, there's teammate Eric right here. He comes flying past me. Look how many riders were passing. This is like first lap, 2 minutes into the race. I guess he just came out to play. I don't know. So he just got on his wheel and he just dragged me all the way to the front. And on this one, you're gonna see power overlay and speed, heart rate, all the good stuff. I have uploaded this whole footage, the whole race. Actually, not the whole race, because my battery ends up dying almost at the end. So whatever footage I got, I ended up putting it up in the channel if you guys want some trainer content right there. So right here in front of me, you'll probably, if you watch Chris, you'll know who that uniform belongs to, and that is the Miami Blazers. And he just sends it on the right. And if you right here on the right too, there's a Miami Knights guy. So there were some pretty big hitters. And I still have one other guy from Miami Blazers right here in front of me. I am not sure if that is Ruben or if that is Johnny Brown. I'm not sure, but yeah. So you'll think that this race here is jumping, and now we're just doing 5, 6, 700 watts. And guys, I'm 155 or so pounds. This is a big effort, sustaining over 600 watts for this long, and we're going 34 miles an hour, 35 miles an hour into this corner. So that was yeah, the race is already getting up to a pretty spicy start. And if you look at the top, we're 3 minutes in, guys. This is just the second lap, and this is something I didn't do a good job of. I didn't, and I wouldn't say I didn't do a good job. It's just my experience. I never been around such a fast and dynamic. Look at this. I haven't even made it back into the wheel. Still doing 400 watts, and they're already attacking again. Thank God for this rider here who looks back, but he just keeps pulling on. He never asked for a pull or anything like that, so I could, sit on his wheel, and I ended up, going back into the move. But so right here I got Eric on the right again, and I kind of tell him, oh, I'm on the inside, just to let him know there, and he gives me a little bit of space. But look at this, we're doing 32 miles an hour into this corner, guys, and this race was so much fun, so fast. And that was the difference between this and the Cat 5 race. You'll think that this races, the average speed is so fast because because we're doing this all the time, like going 35 miles an hour single file. No, not really. This race, when it's on, is on. Like when it's on, we're doing 35 miles an hour into corners or on the straights, and when it's off, sometimes we'll be doing like 20 miles an hour. And that's when you got to be aware of those moves, like, and that's what I was not doing a good job throughout the race. But you can see right here, I was so proud of this move. We were going 35. I didn't want to hit the brakes. I didn't want to ease up. So I come around those guys from the outside, 30 miles an hour, pedaling through the corner. And look how many riders I just passed right here. I was very proud of that. And I did that so many times throughout the race. And now I'm too close to the front, to be honest. I didn't want to be that close to the front. So here, those riders jump. I don't want to be the one dragging the whole group. So I wait for this guy to come around, as he does here. And then, I mean, look at this, 400, 500, 600 watts just to get back into the move. And then look, 31 miles an hour. We go through his corner pretty fast, and it just ends up slowing down again. So it's a lot of on-off efforts, which ends up hurting more than if you look at that. We barely slow down to 27 miles an hour, and there's already guys attacking on the right again. So that's what makes these races so hard, because it's just on-off, on-off. It's not like you're cruising at 30 miles an hour the whole time. So what I need to do a better job is actually staying in the wheels and being able to predict when those moves are going to go. I felt very comfortable, like way more comfortable than in a Cat 5, 4-5 race. Like everybody's so predictable. Everybody's just so fast. They don't move around weird. Like they kind of know what they're doing. So I mean, they obviously know what they're doing. That's why they're racing this. So I'm pretty excited, man, to get the points I need and move to category 3. And this right here was kind of the move of the race for me. So my teammate Justin was off the front here, and then these two guys are trying to close that down. So I obviously jumped on their wheel. And look at this, on their wheel I'm still doing over 400 watts just to stay on their wheel, and they're doing 32 miles an hour. And then this guy just ends up pulling over. I don't know, I guess he wanted to come to a field sprint. He wanted to close down the gap, so he pulls over. I stayed on the other rider, and yeah, so they actually end up catching the break. That's my teammate in front of that guy here in black from Stray Insurance, I think is that team. But They come through his corner, and then everybody's kind of just looking at each other. And at this point, you know something is gonna go. But I mean, 182 beats per minute. I was pretty cooked right there. And then this rider goes on the left, and Justin yells at me. He's like, "Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go!" So I kind of stepped on it. A little bit over 1100 watts right there, but that was just the start, guys. I was already at 180 beats per minute. Look at this. I'm holding 500 watts. I go through this corner 32 miles an hour, and look at this gap. And like I said, that's just what I was not doing a good job of, just anticipating the moves. And it's just because I don't have the experience. I haven't been around this type of racing. Even the Cat 3, Cat 4 is just so different. And this guy, just as I'm coming to his wheel, I was like, okay, I'll get a rest once I get a draft here. I'm still doing 300 watts, and he actually ends up pulling out of the thing, and I was like, oh man. So I gotta dig back on again and get back on the wheel. And then another rider pulls up to the right, like everybody's just going full gas. But yeah, we actually had a gap at this moment, and I just didn't want to give it up. So I just stayed on the gas. I'm still doing over 300 watts. And some very weird happens here, kind of like what happened on the Cat 5 race, or maybe it's just me, I don't know. But I come up to these two riders, which I wish, look, 185 beats per minute right there. I wish I would have been able to make this work, because so they started looking at each other. The guy on the black never pulled through, so I actually I didn't even think about it twice. I do a nice little threshold pull right here, and I look back, and they're not even on my wheel. They're kind of looking at each other, and I ease off right here and look forward, and the next thing I know, they just come flying on the left. And yeah, I'm 183 beats per minute. It's hard to tell now watching the footage back, but I'm sure at that point I was just pretty cooked. And I kind of regret that. I wish I would have dug a little bit deeper there, because those guys, you can see them over there at the front, and those guys actually end up making it to the end. They didn't make it. They didn't win the race, neither of them, or got on the podium, but they actually managed to stay away for the rest of the race, and then they got caught right over the line. So I mean, even if I would have gotten caught kind of like almost getting to the line, it would have still been a pretty fun race. But yeah, guys, this was it. This was so much fun. I absolutely love racing these guys. It was a pleasure being there. Michael Hernandez was there. He was just freaking flying too. I mean, it was a pleasure racing all these guys. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that little breakdown. And I did survive. I did finish the race, which I was pretty happy about, pretty stoked. And that was after doing the 4-5 and also a pretty hard group ride the day before. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, man. And don't forget to hit the like, subscribe. And if you're watching this after it came out, I actually already raced a road race, which is a B race for me this weekend, and I actually ended up on the podium on the Cat 3, so that's going to be coming out soon. So if you guys want to watch that, don't forget to subscribe and all that good stuff. See you guys. Thank you for watching. Peace.